Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Katrina Garrett, and I'm just tickled today about our topic. I don't know why, but my topic today is, are you going through a midlife crisis? And I don't know, I'm just tickled because I don't know if I am or not. I'm just like, okay, how do I fit into all of this? So that is what I want to talk to you today about. I just think it's so funny, because we have our own preconceptions about a midlife crisis. But I'm gonna talk about both what men go through and what women go through. So hang on, get ready, roll with me now, roll with me. Okay, so first of all, I want to add to your spiritual garden, and you know where I'm going. I'm going from Jeremiah 29:11. Yes, I am. For I have plans. Ooh, I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for evil, to give you future and a hope. And I want you to keep that in mind as we talk about midlife crisis, because you know what? It's real. I know that we hear a lot about it. And a lot of it is a negative connotation about midlife crisis. But you know what? Let's look at this. I did a little research. I've been getting a little of this and a little of that, and I just kind of put it all together. And so let's just get a better understanding of really what that is, and let's dig a little deeper with that. Okay. So first of all, I want to say you are not getting older. You are gathering speed and power and wisdom. And this is an honor and a privilege to have. Wow. What a way to look at your midlife crisis. What a way. And that is from a Jane Arden. Okay. But first of all, I want to talk about what is a midlife crisis. And are you going through a midlife crisis? I don't know if I'm going through a midlife crisis or not. Because, like, okay, I'm looking at this. Okay, so I got my shoulders out. Does this mean I'm going through a midlife crisis because I'm doing this? Does that mean that? I don't know. I actually asked my daughter, I said, okay, tell me the truth. Be honest with your mom here. Do you think I'm going through a midlife crisis? Am I acting a little different? I'm looking at all these little symptoms. And she's like, no, ma, you acting the same way. And I'm like, okay, you sure? Because I was like, I don't know if I'm going through a midlife crisis or not. I know I'm feeling okay. So yeah, this is just something it's just intriguing me right now. So yeah, let's explore this. And so, like always, I have notes. So I've written notes down. So I'll be looking down in my notes. So I wrote it all down. Okay. So we know the midlife crisis is a transition of identity and self confidence that occurs in middle age individuals. And that middle age is like 40 to 65 or 45 to 65. And it's like that transition, because not only you're not in the younger generation, you're moving towards the older generation. And so a lot of times we want to feel youthful again. We're coming to terms with the fact that we are getting older. And as we're getting older, we're getting closer to death. And that's just the reality we are as we're getting older. So we're coming into that realization. We hadn't been thinking about it before. So now you're really thinking about it, okay? So you're feeling the best years are behind you. A lot of times that has something to do with it, okay? And we look at this time as being negative a lot of times. This time in our lives between that 45 and 65. Okay. I always told my told my friends, and I told my family, like, if you see me with a baby girl top on, you gotta pull me aside and sit me down and just talk to me a little bit. I just have something about the baby girl top on a grown woman, the baby girl. Okay. I think I saw someone, like an older woman, wearing a baby girl top, and I was just like, that didn't fit. And then I was like, but I ain't a baby girl. I'm not a baby anything. So yeah, I had this thing about baby girl tops. I said, I know I'm going through a midlife crisis if I have a baby girl t-shirt on, and somebody better pull me aside and talk to me. Okay. So yeah, that is my kind of, like, in my mind, it goes in my mind on what when I'm thinking about midlife crisis for a woman. Okay. So we want to be younger, of course. Some people try to regain their youth. They go on spending sprees. I'm guilty. They go on a spending spree. They might flirt a little bit more, be a little more bolder to going up someone and flirting with them, and then they want to seek adventure. They want to seek adventure in some kind of way. They want to regain their youth. I don't think a lot of African American do that now, but I know that that Botox, where they give you shots around your eyes and everything. I don't think we do that too much, but I know a lot of women want to do that to regain their youth, and also plastic surgery, to regain their youth. So yeah, we all want to hold on to as much as we can. So yeah, that is part of having a midlife crisis. Okay. Um, Not everyone has a midlife crisis though. So this is not for everyone, but this is for people who are. Okay. Now there was a survey or research done in 2000. Oh, well, it says 26% people have reported as having a midlife crisis, and that's kind of like a smaller number. It's not as big as we think. And this is from the American Psychological Association, and this is what they said about it. What a midlife crisis is. They say it's an abrupt change in the behavior. Like at first you was one way, and then all of a sudden you turned the other way. It's like you depressed all of a sudden, or all of a sudden you doing all this crazy stuff, and that's not usually your personality. It's an abrupt change in behavior. Um, and there's some type of emotional crisis going on too. Sometimes you neglect taking care of yourself, and so that could be a personal hygiene, or whatever. Just you don't take care of yourself like you used to. So that could be a sign or a symptom that you're going through a midlife crisis, either male or female. Male or female. Okay, your sleep habits might be a little bit sporadic. And for women, we're talking about menopause. Of course, that does affect our sleep, but even before that, that could be a big thing. Okay, you either gain a lot of weight or you lose a lot of weight. Okay, most of us, we do gain. We got the hips, sometimes a little belly, we got the hips and everything. And so yeah, that could be part of that feeling of this, we gaining weight and things like that. Changes in our mood. So you might be more angry. You might feel like you're more irritable. Might be a little bit more sad or have anxiety. And so that whole feeling of transitioning to be older, just trying to wrap your mind around that. Okay. That can also be an indicator of that you're going through a midlife crisis. You're going to withdraw from your usual routine or relationship. Oh, you all go ahead. I'm not going with you. I'd rather be at home. I'm looking at TV. I'm going to look at the football game. I don't want to go out for the walk. I don't want to, the usual routine or things that you like to do. You just don't have that enthusiasm anymore. Okay. And so those are just some that was just mentioned from the American Psychological Association, that these could be some indicators that you're going through a midlife crisis, but we're going to dig a little bit more deeper. Midlife could be thought of as a time of regrets too. So some people might think of it as, man, I should have took another career. Why didn't I save more money? Why didn't I take care of myself a little bit better? Because now, maybe I'm on medication now. And so that whole thing of regrets, because it's like that wake up call, that, man, I'm getting older now. Look at me. I'm in the 50s, or I'm 45, 50, or I'm 60. And oh man, I wish I would have did this. Or you looking at somebody else and saying, man, why didn't I do that? It would have been different now. And we can't do that. What is done is done. And we just have to move forward with our life. Okay. Not taking the time to create the life you wanted. We don't think about that when we're in the 20s, and maybe not even in our 30s. We're not thinking about the future like this. At least, most people don't. So yeah, sometimes we look back and think about, man, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. That coulda, woulda, shoulda, that song. So we don't want to do that. But you know what? It's nothing we could do now. It's done. Whatever it is done. And so we just have to just say, okay, from this day forward, I'm just going to just live my life to the fullest. Okay. Okay, so roll with me, roll with me. So one thing that I did find out before I go into the men symptoms of when midlife crisis, is that they say that happiness does increase in your 50s. And so that in your 50s, you are starting to feel like, you just feel energized, you feel happy with your life. And so so midlife crisis is not everybody, but some people are going through that. Okay. But I love when I read that in your 50s, a lot of people are just getting revived. They're learning to love life, and they're going on just a whole different adventure in their lives, and they learn to appreciate their life in a different way. And so that's good to know. Okay. Um, Part of the midlife crisis is that happiness factor. And so the whole midlife crisis has about, I'm not happy. I'm not happy because I'm aging. I'm not happy because my life is not the way I want it to be. I remember a friend said to me that she was further along than she is now. Maybe not making the money that she wanted to have, not having a relationship that she always wanted to have. And so, yeah, sometimes that can really make you feel, discouraged, because you at this latter part of your life, and basically you are. And so you're thinking about that, and it just really brings you down. But let's move forward, and I want to talk about men's signs of midlife crisis. Okay, some men get to the point where they feel their life is boring. Okay, their life is boring. They want to seek excitement. They want to feel fulfilled. They feeling unfulfilled. And they want something to shake up their routine, and sometimes they feel trapped. And so if they're in a marriage or in a relationship, sometimes they tend to go outside the relationship. And I'm going to say this. One thing we have to realize is that going outside the relationship, you want someone else to validate you. You want somebody else to tell you that you're handsome, you're great, and all of this, and that's fine. But you want that validation, but you have the person you in a relationship with that's been with you thick and thin, and that you made a commitment to. And then now, because you're bored, you're looking and looking for someone, and the first person to say, "Oh, you so handsome," you ready to walk away from the person who's been with you through thick and thin. That doesn't even make sense. You're willing to walk away just because of this person, this new person, and because they're different and they're new. And so I see it, we hear about it a lot. And you know what, man, I'm sorry, but you do have a reputation of doing that. You're just going from woman to woman. Whoever, oh yeah, you look good. Okay, I want to go with you. Okay, oh, you look good. I want to go with you. Oh, you said that I'm handsome. I want to go with you. Oh, you just make me feel good. We had a good conversation. I want to go with you. That doesn't make any sense. So a lot of times through the midlife crisis, men do go out the relationship because they looking for fulfillment. And one thing we have to realize, we can't look for other people for fulfillment. We can't do that. And to sacrifice this, I'm going to say it, that young thing or that woman who's so different, that you're going to walk away from your marriage, and you're going to fool around, and you're going to sacrifice that. And this woman has been with you for thick and thin. Now, I like this. Whatever, if you want excitement in your relationship, if you want it, just how about doing it with the person that you're with? How about, baby, get the red shoes out the room? She'll do it. Get the red shoes out the room. Okay, she'll do it. So, oh, okay, baby, let's do something. Let's do something exciting. Okay, but a lot of you are not going to your significant others doing that. You're just going on that person at work that winked at you, and she laughing and joking with you. And so then you're going to turn your back, and you're going to sacrifice your relationship, a woman who's been there with you through thick and thin and been committed to you, and to go with that for that temporary feeling. And so we got to be wiser than that. That's kind of shallow, and it's kind of juvenile too, because you're going to be just going. You're going to be going from one to another, because guess what, that's going to get boring. And then you're going to be like, okay, who's next? And so you're going to be doing that. We're at the age where it's like it's not about that. It's about us feeling fulfilled, and it's about us finding a way to fulfill ourselves, for making ourselves whole, and not looking for someone else to do it for us. And I must say, I'm sorry, men, that's what you do. You don't know how to make yourself feel whole. So you're going from woman to woman. The first one they gonna wink at you, or the one that got the big booty. Let's be real. Oh yeah, I want her, cause my wife don't have the big booty. but I want her now. So come on, we got to be better than that. That's just so juvenile. I'm telling you. I'm just saying. Okay, so yeah, that is what happens with a midlife crisis. So usually men go outside the relationship because they want to feel rejuvenated. They want to feel a sense of adventure. They want something new. You can have something new with the wife you have at home. And you know what? She'll do it. Give her that nurse outfit. She'll do it. We're going to do this together. We're going to make it exciting together. So all you have to do is communicate. Also, with males, they might go on splurging. And there we go with that red Corvette. I don't know why I keep thinking of that red Corvette. That red Corvette. I got this car. And that's making you feel fulfilled. And I'd rather you do that than go out and cheat. So yeah, you might do that. And then you know what? I have this vision in my mind, and I don't know. This is dated though, but the man with the Beijing, because you talk about us dyeing our hair, you dye your hair too. A lot of men do that now. The Beijing, and then with the chain and the shirt open. I think that's in the 70s though. So, but yeah, that is that whole model and that image of going through a midlife crisis because you want to make up for what you missed in your youth or you want to relive your youth. A lot of times you might even say, oh, I remember, I was on that football team. I was going on, I had it going on. I was pulling all the women, I was looking good and you thinking about all those things. And it's okay, but you're not that now, but you're better. You're better because you're seasoned. And so I think sometimes it's our mindset or how we look at where we're at right now. Okay. Another way the men go through that midlife crisis, they might kick up that appearance a little bit. For you look around, it's like, oh, where are you going? And you're smelling good. You don't usually be smelling that good. Now you're smelling good. And so, yeah, sometimes that happens too. You want to get that attention. You're looking for that fulfillment. And like I said, it's already inside of you and not looking for different women to give it to you. Can't tell me, oh, as soon as you say, wink at me, I'm yours. And you willing to walk away from your wife, or you gonna be deceitful and still do that and then come and look at her face. How can you do that? I don't see how y'all do that. I don't see it. How you do that. You somebody else, but then you gonna come over to your wife and say, hey baby, and she got fried chicken and rice and corn ready for you on the table. And then you going on like nothing happened. Oh, I just don't get that. But anyway, let me keep it moving. Good God, that is mean. Um, Intimacy might decrease or it might increase. So if it decrease, it might be because you have someone else on the side, or it might increase because you doing that and you kind of alive, I guess. So that could be a factor as well. You might start to drink too much. And so with trying to drink too much, sometimes that's just you trying to numb something sometimes or just kind of escape with drinking or any other substances. So I'm hoping that, you're not doing that. But sometimes with midlife crisis, that's what happened in the men. Okay. Depression. So sometimes men do go through depression. And with that depression, you might be sleeping more. You might not just be enthusiastic about doing anything. You just want to sit around and you just don't want to go out and live anymore. And so that's part of that midlife crisis. That's part of, I'm getting older, life is boring. It's nothing left for me. And that whole mindset. Okay. Reminiscing about the past. And so that could really make you feel depressed because if you're reminiscing about the past, you're thinking about all those good feelings that you had back when you was 20, when you was 30 and how you were and how you looked and things that were happening in your life. But that doesn't mean that you can enjoy and have things happening in your life now. It's going to look different. It's going to be different, but it's going to be better because you're better. You're wiser. Okay. You've been here longer. And so, yeah, think about that. But that is one way that, or many ways that men experience that midlife crisis. Okay. Usually, and I have here that, men midlife crisis could last between 3 and 10 years. And so that's pretty long. But remember, not everybody goes through a midlife crisis. We got some people who do. Okay. And so I'm hoping that you can get a handle on that and try to find fulfillment within. No one can make your life happy. You have to be fulfilled within, and definitely not to be hurting someone because you want to go out first person to wink at you, and then you wait and walk. Hey, I'm a woman, so I'm gonna say it. Okay, okay. So yeah, think about that. So now let's look at a woman's midlife crisis symptoms. What does it look like when a woman is going through midlife crisis? Okay, it's definitely we want to start with she's going through those hormonal changes, and so with the menopause, her sleep habits are off, or our sleep habits are off. We might be feeling a little, we might gain weight. Our hormones are all over the place, and so, we might have even more anxiety. And then, of course, our skin changes. Of course, our body changes. Everything changes. We might even gain more weight. That's part of those hormones. So our body is going through that. Can we avoid that? No, men, we can't. That's just something that happens with us because we're women. And remember, our whole body is more complicated, and because we bear children. And so, yeah, that's one thing that we do have to think about. That's one thing that we have to deal with. Okay. Um, our hormones. You know what? Another thing, and I'm going to mention this, is that we become a little invisible to society. And so, as women get older, of course, we're not young anymore. And I think sometimes we get overlooked because we're not that standard on TV anymore. And then, for single women, like I'm single, and so we got men that are like my age. They're not looking at women like my age. They're looking at 20-year-old and 30-year-olds. So that's what they're doing. So they're not looking at women our age. They're looking younger. And so we tend to feel like we're invisible. And I could imagine how, someone who's going through a midlife crisis might not even feel like, man, what is left then? The men, that they're not looking at me. They don't want a woman that's beautifully seasoned. They don't want a woman who's wise. They don't want a woman who is, who has taken care of herself, and that's doing good for herself, and that's a good woman. That's a mature woman. They don't want that. And so, it's a history, and men do have a history of that, looking out, not even paying attention into women who are over 40 or over 50. Okay. But I'm like this. If a man is meant for me, he's going to see that value in me. No matter what, he's going to see that value in me. And, I'm not like everybody else. And neither are you, ladies. And so if he sees me, the one who needs to see me and see who I am, he's going to know that she is. That's her. I'm going to have her. Okay. She's the one. And so, yeah, that's what we have to do. We can't get discouraged over that. But we know that, men, you did 20 and 30. That's what you want. That's what you out. You're not looking for, a woman, that's your age. And so that could be part of that midlife crisis you feel. There's a lot of very beautiful, beautiful seasoned women out there that men are you just overlooking. You're not even giving them the time of day, and you got in your mind of TV images on TV, and that's just not real. But yeah, so think about that. Also, you have changing eating habits. Either you're eating too much, and usually that's to fill a void, ladies, or you might not really be eating that much because you're depressed, or, and this is for people going through the midlife crisis. Okay. Of course, you're changing your sleep habits, and then also feelings of pessimism or hopelessness. Sometimes it's kind of like, okay, what is left for me? There's nothing left for me. Okay. What is left to do? If you're single, you're like, okay, the men, they going somewhere else. They not even looking my way. I don't know what to do with my life. So that feeling of hopelessness can set in. But I want to tell you that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and there's no reason for you to be hopeless. You still have a life in front of you and another day that God gave you. And so you can just do really plan your day, plan things that you like to do. You can do it. Okay, so don't lose hope. Feelings of guilt and worthlessness. Once again, that guilt could be in any form of maybe things in the past that you should have did or you did do, and you just you're looking back and you just not feeling that your life is any worth now. And so yeah, that could be part of that midlife crisis too. You could lose interest in your hobbies. You could lose interest in sex. You could lose interest in all of that, and it's just like you just gave up hope. You know, um, you do have a desire, for the passion, the intimacy, to be able to feel wanted again. And then if you don't have significant other, if you're looking for that outside, once again, the outside stimulation to make you feel whole, that can definitely bring on a midlife crisis because you're depending on somebody. Make me feel fulfilled, make me feel whole, and that that person might not be around and come. So what you gonna do? Wait? You just be depressed? No. So yeah, once again, and a sense of pressure. A sense of pressure, like, okay, I have to do something. My time is running out. And time waits for none of us. Time doesn't wait. So we have to keep moving and we have to keep living and learning and loving. Okay, so yeah, think about that. Midlife crisis is a part of a maturing process. So that's all midlife crisis is. It's a maturing process. And it doesn't have to be a crisis. It could be something very beautiful. It could be something very reflective in your life that you could reflect on things and you can actually start living again. It could be a renewal of your mind. It could be just something, it's a whole sense of adventure. It's up to you. You have the power and you have the control to do that. And so you don't have to sit in a crisis mode. It might be midlife, but it could be midlife fantastic. It could be midlife marvelous. It doesn't have to be a crisis. Even with the menopause, it doesn't have to be a crisis. Okay, so those are some of the things. In addition to that, of course, our skin changes, and our body is changing. And so, yeah, just like with the men, we could look back on them pictures when we was 36, 24, 36, and we was just, woo. And at the time, we didn't even know we was 36, 24, 36, because we wasn't even paying attention to our bodies then. But now, of course, we wish we had those back. But all I can say is that we could just take care of ourselves starting today, starting on what we eat and exercising and things like that. It doesn't have to be, but I'm like this, and I've said this in my podcast before, that no matter where you are now, embrace who you are. Embrace who you are. I'm sorry, you don't have to worry about, you don't have to always want the outside validation, because I'm like this. Somebody who's not for you, they're not for you. They're not if they don't appreciate who you are as a woman. And I'm telling you, every role, everything. Just appreciate who you are and be grateful, because this is a gift. It's a gift that we're at this age. We didn't necessarily have to make it to now. And so we don't have time to be depressed. We don't have time to be bored. And we don't have time to be running around and just jumping in and out of relationships. Let's have a quality life, a life that is honorable before God. Okay. So yeah. So let me share to you about doing a life audit. Let's do a life audit. Okay. We're gonna reflect on our lives and what has worked for us and what hasn't. And so we're gonna do that reflective process. What has worked for me? What has not worked for me? And so we're gonna write that down in our journal and really, really think about it. Okay. We're gonna change our course of action. We're gonna do something we always wanted to do. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I said I'm doing my zip lining. I'll go do that this summer. And so, yeah, do something that you've always wanted to do. It's nothing wrong with having that bucket list. Write down some things that you want to do and places you want to go and just start planning it. I always want to write my book. I did do that. And some other things that I want to do, I'm going to do that. And so, yeah, have a plan and get excited about it, okay? Let go of the petty stuff. Let go of the petty stuff. You acknowledge that some things are not worth your energy, your anger, or your time. Remember, time is not on our side. It's not. Okay? We are getting older. We're getting closer to death. And we are. We are. That's the reality. So we're not letting it wasting time with that petty stuff. I'm telling you, if you're on a job, they being petty, I will walk away and do something else. We don't have time. And then plus we don't need that extra stress on our heart and our body. We be stressed out and having ulcers and things like that. We don't have time. We don't have time for that now. We might have do it in the 20s, but we don't have time. Time is precious. It's more precious to us now. I think we kind of get that now. Okay. Oh, let go of the past. Let go of the past. Now, you know what? I've always said that's a big one for me to truly let go. It takes time, but if you are intentional, let go of the past. The past is not a predictor of your future. So, no matter what it is, whether it was you went through a divorce, it's not a predictor of your future. That doesn't mean you're not valuable. That doesn't mean you're not wanted. You are valuable. So, always have hope and pray that God will, hey, send somebody else in your life, improve your finances, or whatever in your career, whatever it is, the best is yet to come. And keep that in your mind. The best is yet to come. You might not think it. You might think back in the 20s that was your best. You might thought about in high school was in your best or college, but that wasn't your best. The best is yet to come. I promise you, the best is yet to come. It's going to get better. Okay, so yeah, be focused on that. Also, self care. We're going to continue to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and you know what? Spiritually. That means connecting with God. I'm telling you, if you are going through a midlife crisis, I would say bring it to God. Tell him, Lord, I don't know what this is, what I'm feeling. I'm feeling hopeless. I need you. I need you to give me a sense of earth, a sense of life again. Guide me and direct me. I feel if you go to God authentically and you go real with a heart for to know God more, that He will give you some indication. It will be something that happened in your life that will regain that, renew that spirit again. I believe that. So yeah, let's don't forget about our walk with God because that's very important, and we know that anyway because we know we don't. A lot of our friends are gone. People that we know did not make it, but we did. We don't have time to go through depression. We made it. We're here. And so God is saying, look, go ahead and enjoy this life. It's precious. And so that's one thing that we know now. New lifestyle habits. We know about eating right. We know about exercising. We know about being positive, all those things. So we're going to have maybe better lifestyle habits. You know how if we ate a big old meal and laid down, that's the best nap you can have. Mouth hanging open and everything. We done had them greens and macaroni and cheese, all that, the smothered pork chops or whatever it is that we eat and we are led and we are feeling good, but we also know if we keep doing that, we're going to have high blood pressure, we're going to have diabetes, and we're going to have a lot of weight on us. And so we have to make those new lifestyle changes. Some things we're going to have to sacrifice, or we're going to have some kind of self-discipline and self-control. Okay, how to make your life count. You can make sure that you're reaching out to someone in order to providing service or anything like that. So yeah, those are ways to take an audit of your life. Let's rethink this whole midlife crisis thing because it doesn't have to be negative. Okay, it can make you a better person because you are starting to be, you could be, you being calmer, wiser. You learn to accept things you cannot change. I can't change another person no matter what. You could be mad all you want, but I can't change the other person. And so when we think of that and when we get it in our gut and we know that, then I believe things will be easier and it'll be a better flow in our lives. Okay. Because we're not holding on to something that we can't control. Okay. Stronger relationships, and so you work on those relationships being stronger, whether with your children, your friends, your significant other, working on those. Being motivated, that's the part of as we maturing, being more motivated and focused and driven. That's not gone, that's not stagnant anymore. We can still be more focused and driven in our career, in our hobbies, whatever it is that we're passionate about. Okay. Taking better care of ourselves. We talked about that. Being more grateful. That's that part of being in tune with God and having that relationship with God. Being grateful for being here another day. Being here and being able to breathe and just love. Okay. So yeah, that's big. We don't want to overlook that. Okay. And we want to be more positive. We want to be more optimistic. It's not all about, oh, I'm old now. I'm just sitting around here. Ain't nothing left with me. No, you're going to be more positive and optimistic about your life. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. We don't have to take that crisis and let it ruin our life and be toxic in our life. It's up to us on how we deal with our midlife. Okay. So listen to this. It says, take heart in every stage of your life. It's ordained by God and part of his good plan for us. Yes, it is. It's a plan that you're here. It's a reason why you're still here. Continue to serve the Lord and find joy in him. I love that. I love that. And so, yeah, be mindful of that. Okay. And now I have three quotes. Now, you know how I am about quotes. I feel like that's shared wisdom. And so I found these three that I think will motivate you and make you feel better. Okay. I don't know if I'm feeling better or not. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to midlife crisis or not. I don't know. Does this mean midlife crisis? Because I'm doing this? I don't know. But either way, I'm feeling good. Okay. Okay. So this is my first quote. You're still a rock star. I tell myself as I take my multiple vitamin and climb into the bed at 9 p.m. I'm still a rock star, but I know I be blinking at 9 at 10. About 10 o'clock, I'm blinking and nodding. Okay, if I'm just sitting down, if I'm out, that's different. But I'm sitting down, blinking and nodding, but I'm still a rock star. That's embracing that midlife. It's embracing it. It's fun. Okay. So here's another one. Life really begins at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. I love that. All this time past, you've been doing research. You've been gathering life experiences. You've been gathering all these facts about life and you've been learning about yourself. And so now your life has began because you know exactly what to expect. You got a lot of wisdom to bring to the table. So yeah, you ready. I like that one too. And here's the last one. Don't get all weird about aging. It's just the number of years the world has been enjoying you. Woo, I love that. That's all this is. This the number of years that the world has enjoyed you. And so yeah, let's not really take this and make this heavy burden of a midlife crisis. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll get a sports car too. That's fine. But I think, you know what? I'm gonna say it again. Just going out and cheating because you want to feel alive now. No, just because you need fulfillment because somebody winked at you or somebody said you was cute. And so you're gonna go back and the person that been with you thick and thin, then smell your breath in the morning and picked up your dirty drawers and made you all that fried chicken. And you know how she was in that kitchen taking care of you and loving you up. But then as soon as somebody with a big booty and wink at you, and then because you going through a midlife crisis, then you want to just leave and just sacrifice that from that history. Come on, we are better than that. So, you know, I had to say that. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to encourage you to go to my podcast. I'm also going to record this on my podcast, Beautifully Seasoned. And then I have some other episodes on there as well. So check it out. It's on Spotify. It's on a lot. If you just say Beautifully Seasoned Podcast, it's on a lot of platforms. And you know what? It's also on Audible. I just found this on Audible. I don't know how I got on Audible. So it's on Audible. Okay, and then also I have my website is www.beautifullyseasonedyou. That's you.com, and it's on it's a website, but it's also on the app. So you can bring up that app. So once you do that, do that app, and then you can see the articles I have there. I do have an article, pretty why do all men cheat? Yep. I got it on there. And so, yeah, go ahead and read that. And then there's also some other articles on there, all just positive messages. So, yeah, and tell somebody about it. Also, my book, Standing Inside Myself, A Journey of Self-Love, Wisdom, Power, and Purpose. You can buy that on Amazon. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel and tell someone about this. Tell someone about this channel so I can get some more subscribers, okay? You know how I'm doing this as a mission. You know I am, okay? So, yeah, I am going to say a blessing for you. I already said that I'm going to say this blessing after every episode on my YouTube channel. And I want to say that to you. I got it from Joel Osteen. And it says, you are blessed, prosperous, redeemed, forgiven, talented, creative, confident, secure, disciplined, focused, prepared, qualified, motivated, valuable, free, determined, equipped, empowered, anointed, accepted, and approved. You're not average. You're not mediocre. You are a child of the Most High God, and you will become all you was created to be in Jesus' name. I believe that, and I pray that for you. Thank you for joining me today. Are you going through a midlife crisis? Like I told you, I don't know. Because you see, I'm doing this here. I don't know if that's what that means or not. But I'm definitely not going through a crisis. I am embracing this time in my life. And I hope that you are too. It is a gift from God. So let's not forget that. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, and share. Thank you. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.